What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, and welcome to another new video. So before we get into this, I was a little bit quiet in here, a little bit silent, I think I'm going to try this again. I am constantly trying to do this in my videos. Sometimes it ends up just being a sound mixing nightmare, as I'm sure most of you could probably remember. But, hey, what the hell? Ooh, this baby looks, ooh, she's been very loved, let's just say that. Maybe not so much loved as, well. Alright, what is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone in between, and let's get into this. It is a SnackCrate. Now, I did a video for this ages ago, way back in the very early days of my channel, on the table that's now over there, but it was over there, and you could, like, sit on one side of it, and I had it set up a certain way. That didn't work out too much. Well, it kind of did, but I just went against it. But yeah, I love SnackCrate. They are a monthly subscription service where you get several box sizes. There are 3, including this one, which is the ultimate, but it's not the one with the drink. You have to pay $5 extra for the drink. But they have a series of boxes, and every month you get a curated set of little snacks and treats, savory and sweet, from various countries and areas.
Now where do you think you're going? Thought it was wrong to come home. My daddy won't be home. It's in the dark. Now where do you think you're going? Thought it was wrong to come home. Your mama says I'm no good boy. Oh, what have you done to me?
Let's crack open the box. As you can see, this box this month is from Pakistan. So it is going to have a bunch of lovely and interesting drinks. Now, the recent thing they've been doing is printing all of their box information with interesting little tidbits and facts about the country and such, as like the sort of wrapping, a little surprise thing. Before, they just had like a generic normal wrapping paper, and the information came like a little booklet. This is much more simple, much more easy, and of course, like, less, shall we say, wasteful in terms of materials. And you also get these little fold-outs that tell you what comes in the box. Here is the drink upgrade, which I did not get. The Pakistani cream soda, which actually sounds deliciously good. And here's just all of the little things in here. And as you can see, like, there's things like the wispy, so, and the mellow. So some of these things are, sort of like regional variants of things that exist in other areas. And of course, others are incredibly, local things that pretty much would only exist in that locale. Now, because most of these treats that they do are, of course, packaged, you don't exactly get, like, truly homemade versions of anything. So it is really kind of interesting and exciting to see the variety that they do get, because these are, more manufactured things, which, weirdly enough, is, I think, a plus. I know, like, a lot of people say, oh, you want to taste the homemade culture of an area. You want to taste, like, the stuff that people are putting their hard-earned talent and sweat into. And honestly, on some level, I almost feel like, no, you don't. Not, to disparage handmade crafts or baked goods, because those are fantastic. But I think if you do want to enjoy a culture in a truly rounded way, well, you do want to look at those things. You also have to realize that ultimately in any culture, people are trash. People are lazy. People are fucking human beings with fucking human flaws. And one of those flaws is just not wanting to cook, not wanting to make anything, and just buy something at the nearest gas station or little, like, bodega or whatever your local variation is, and eat that. So, I don't know, I kind of like the junk food approach to culture. And it's also interesting, too, because some things are so common, like, unified as sort of international foods and such, and yet there are endless amounts of ways to present these in unique ways, which is lovely. Right on top, we have a whole bunch of savory and delicious-looking things. We have this right here, which is Shal chili chips. Oh boy. Oh boy, they're gonna be hot. Well, Oh yeah, chili chips. It says it down there at the bottom. I didn't notice it first. But I'll have to try them. And then, oh, more spicy. Honestly, though, I think I've had Pakistan before, or at least one other area, and their spicy doesn't bother me too much. The country whose spiciness did bother me a lot, really, was India, weirdly enough. Not because of technically, like, the heat or anything, because I've had spicier than most of those treats, but it was, like, the type of spice. It's sort of like, the spices I like tend to be more like curries and such, where it is a sort of warming, thick, spicy feeling that kind of sits right here in your throat area. Whereas the Indian SnackCrate box, a lot of the treats in there were that sort of heavy spice that sits right here in this section and like makes you cough really easily and feels sort of like almost like a pepper feeling. And I hate the feeling of black pepper. I will not eat black pepper unless I am forced to, or unless it's like really well integrated into a dish. But as a standalone condiment, I will not touch black pepper. But yeah, these are some curlies, which are a spicy potato crinkle chip. And then we have these chills, which are a lemon and chili. Oh my god, I am gonna be, this is gonna be fun. And then these are the curlies, which are a French cheese, which will actually be pretty good. I am rarely disappointed with any sort of cheese variety type snack. And these are fried potato snacks. And they're interesting looking. They almost look like little pastas or... Well, they're more, you know, they're like a corn shape type thing, except it's a potato. Like a potato starch, in this case. Potato starch type shape. But that'll be interesting to try. And these are also shawl. Why is it? Oh yeah, it's up here. And that is, for the most part, it looks like those are the savories. And then we get into the sweets, which include these Prince mini fingers. We get 2 bags of those. These boxes are very well appointed, by the way. They do not really skimp on much. We have, let's see here. Now, fudge caramel filled chocolates. We have the Super Sonnet, which also looks to be caramel and maybe a bit of nougat. And the mellow chocolate cold and vanilla marshmallow. There are Paradise Pluses. And ooh, this looks good. Chocolate coated chocolate cake. Although it's very thin. So, yeah. And if you're noticing that some of these look smaller, of course, a lot of that is just like country tendency thing. Like, a lot of places don't have the serving sizes that, you know, Americans have, with everything being king size, multiple, huge ass. And ooh, chocolate cookies, chocolate chip cookie here. We have little berry bites and this watermelon jelly that are actually little watermelon shapes. They're very tiny. Oh yeah. And oh, these little berry bites. Oh, I'm gonna have to grab the other camera again real quick. Jumping on the other camera so you guys can get really up close and personal with everything. You can see this is a pretty nice box. And I wanted to focus on these specifically because the little berry bites actually are made of like little nonpareils to look like little pips and individual bits of a berry. The watermelon jelly, again here so you can get a closer view, is actually a little watermelon colored and shaped type slice thing, which is very cute. And you get 2 bags of each of those. And we also have, coming on to the bigger snacks here, here we are. This is a fun one here, and ooh, this is actually distributed by them. The packaging is adorable. I love it. That's going to be interesting. I especially love the little snacks like that are very regional type things. Now chocolate paste. Ooh, that's fun. Chocolate-filled biscuits. Again, like, these are some things that are kind of very uniform and universal. I feel like every country to a degree has, like, the little biscuit thing. And of course these too. Every single country I have got a box from seems to have some variety of things like this. The chocolate wafer, which I love. Ooh, crunch. Fruity, crunchy jelly. That actually sounds good. And then we have butter cookies. Bakari butter cookies. Which look really, really good. Again, I always love butter cookies. I am the grandma who buys those tins. And then here we have some big boxes of, well, a regional variant of the Oreo, you could say here. And of course, that's probably going to be... And we have a more traditional type thing here, which looks so good. Zira. Alright, back up here. So, obviously I'm not going to try everything in the box, because, you know, I like to spread these out, make them last the whole month until the next one comes in. But I'm going to open up a few of these at the very least, and try to get a little variety of what's coming here, and, you know, give you guys a general idea. So, we'll start out with something safe here, which is the chocolate wafers. I mean, pretty hard to fuck up a chocolate wafer, let's be honest here. That is, like, even the dollar store variants can be tasty. So, let's pop her open. The one thing about chocolate wafers, they're packed so tight all the time. So, here we are, and again, like I say, it's very hard to fuck up a chocolate wafer. It has the thin little wisps, it has the thin little bits of chocolate in between each of the little wispy bits, and then... it is very good. Again, like I say, it is very hard to mess these up, but I'm noticing the chocolate doesn't have a very pungently sweet taste to it, but it does feel very creamy, like creamier than even some of the artisan chocolates I'm more used to. It feels very, like, slick in a good way when you eat it, and it's... oh yeah, I like those. As far as wafers go, brilliant. So let's jump into the savory category with, do I want to go with the traditional chip or one of the little, actually I'm really curious about the shape of these babies, so I think I'm going to try these, and they're a sweet and sour flavor, so... ooh. And yeah, they are like a little pasta type thing. They are a hollow. If you can see there, they are a hollow little shape of a cornstarch and such. So more in line with like a oh, what's that company that does the chips in a can? And people get upset because they're not actually chips, but they're like molded from the mashed up potato. Ooh. Oh. Okay, the flavor is good. It is like a little bit tart. It's not overly sweet or overly sour. It's like a good mixture of both of them, which I think I would default describe as tart. But you think they're going to be really, really crunchy, like a crisp, but they're not. They kind of have a... oh, I don't know how to say this in like a good way, but it is a good thing. They have like a vaguely stale texture to them. You know, like when you leave chips a certain time of chip out for a while, and instead of being super crunchy and good, it kind of has this soft, like, bite to it. Like they have that, it's soft and such. But then as soon as like your saliva mixes with it, it liquefies and it turns into like this soft, flavorful, almost like a wafer type thing in a good way. I really don't know how to explain. Like, okay, this is gonna sound weird as fuck, but bear with me on this. I was raised Catholic. It is like a snack version of a communion wafer. There we go. That is the best way to describe it. It has that first starting out texture of being a bit crisp, a bit like firm, and having a little bit of a crunch to it that's not exactly like crisp crunch, but like stale crunch. And then it's in your mouth. It turns into a like sort of nice feeling gooish, and then you can swallow it. It feels like that, but with a sweet and sour flavor. That is what this is. I am standing by that description, and honestly, I like it. It's interesting too, because like the flavor's there when you first pop it in your mouth, but it's not really until the first time you bite down and it starts disintegrating in your mouth that the flavor does that. And, oh my god, I really love those. Seriously, communion wafer pasta. These are good. Is it offensive to, like, use a Catholic reference for a Pakistani treat? Anyway, I want to go on to the Craving Zero right here because this is very regional. It has some spice in it, and I am intrigued because, like, we just never get anything like this. I feel like the closest Americans get to having, like, spicy cookies would have to be, like, you know, obviously gingerbread and ginger snaps, which are vile. I say because ginger is supposed to be like a digestive aid. Anytime I eat a ginger snap, if I've, like, not eaten a whole bunch of other stuff before, I immediately feel like bleh type thing. Just from the ginger, because it is such a strong, overwhelming flavor. Alright, so the cookies come in like a little foil, which is nice. You know, it's not plastic. Although it could also just be like a metal-coated plastic, so... Oh no! My cookie! It's broken! But let's try it. Ooh! Let me eat the whole thing. Ooh. Alright, so these cookies, oh wow. Oh wow, these are good. So the cookie itself, the texture, the flavor notes and such, it feels like a very traditional sort of butter cookie. So like, you know, again, those cookies you get in the little tins every Christmas, it feels like that, but it's a lot more moisture and less stale than those cookies are. But then the cumin pops out, and the zira, and like it has this very spicy aftertaste that sort of builds up. The cumin just comes through. You feel that sort of come out through the butter cookie area, and it leaves like this little tingle on your tongue that feels so good, and it tastes delicious. And oh my god, I love these. I'm gonna eat this whole tube. No question. Alright, moving on. I do still want to try to keep a balance, and I want to suffer. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the spicy crinkle cuts here from Curly's. Again, it's been a while since I've had anything heavily spicy. Like, I do like spicy foods, like, to a degree. I'm not a heavy spice person, but I think in a way, like, for me, it's like, I like spice as a flavor, not as a challenge type thing. So, like, curries and, like, certain mixes of food and stuff where the spices are very integrated into the full flavor of the experience. I like those. Whereas if it's a food that really could, like, taste the same with or without the spices, and you just, like, throw on a bunch of, like, overly hot, like, habaneros and serrano, blah, 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 all this stuff just to, like, boost it and make it sweaty, it doesn't really appeal to me too much. Of course, like I said before, there's different types of spicy that is good, so let's see how these are. Right off the bat, I'm not getting a heavy flavor note, so it doesn't feel like there's actual pepper in this. Like, what's stemming to mind right now is paprika chips, which normally I'm not a fan of peppers as a family, but I love paprika, which is made from the dried out bits of... And, ooh, the spicy does hit. It is very sticky. It stays on the tongue, I mean. It's that sort of spicy that just coats your tongue and doesn't really go to any other place in your mouth, unless you're, like, rolling the chip around inside your full mouth. I'm not feeling it in the throat too much. This is kind of nice. I like this. Actually, I do get a little bit of a sweet, peppery taste to it, but it is very, very subtle. So it could just be like the regional type of pepper they're using. Do the ingredient list say what kind? That's what I'm tasting. There's turmeric powder in here. I love the taste of turmeric, so I recognize that. It just says red chili, so it could be any variety, to be honest. But, ooh, Alright, second chip is giving me a little bit of a throat burn, but it's a kind of nice, like the high-pitched kind. I'm gonna try one more chip. Be brave. Overall, yeah, I like them. They're not excessively hot. They are quite hot, but not enough to where it feels overwhelming or like it is painful, which honestly was my experience with the Indian box. Like, a lot of the stuff in there was just like so over the top. Oh my god. I kind of don't want it, but I do. It is a panda cake. So it's a little soft cake with strawberry cream. And it looks like there's little bits of chocolate on it as decorative elements. And it is very well sealed. See, I love things like this because I feel like we don't really get a lot of cute, cakey treats over here. Like, pretty much all I can think of is the Hostess variety and, of course, the knockoffs of Mrs. Fieldsley or whatever she's called, which are nice, but also kind of bland. And I just like the... You know those memes where they show, like, the Minion popsicles or the SpongeBob popsicles? Take a look at that adorable, fucking, cute-ass little picture right there. Take a look at that. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things doesn't belong. And I dropped it. Which kind of sums up my opinion about, to be honest. No, I know shit like this happens, and, you know, you can't get everything perfect. I can see the mold and the shape of it a little bit vaguely. I also feel like they definitely were depending on the application of icing and chocolate and such to make it actually look like a little panda bear, because while there is some mold to shape to it, it's very, very soft in surface. But let's see how it tastes. It's kind of a dense cake, but still airy and very moist. 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 Moist cake. It doesn't have a soggy bottom, by the way, for any British Bake Off fans. The strawberry cream is good, and I'm going to say, it does kind of feel like cheap store cake, but it doesn't have that weird sort of aftertaste like, again, like I just said, the, I already forgot their names, the Hostess. It doesn't have that weird sort of artificially aftertaste that Hostess snacks have a lot, like, let's see, I've tried the Twinkies, I've tried, God, I can't remember names of anything. The snowballs and such. Like, there is this sort of weird, almost pseudo-metallic, I'm trying to think of a word for it, pseudo-metallic, aftertaste to them where it feels odd. This doesn't exactly feel like prime A-quality cake that you're going to get fresh out of a little bakery and such, but it does feel very, like, store-bought. And it doesn't feel artificial and metallic-y and such either. It's like a very good in-between. It is quite nice. It kind of has the same texture and consistency of a Jaffa cake, if you know that reference. So UK people would probably know that one. Some US people, if you're lucky. But yeah, it feels a bit more like a Jaffa cake than anything else. It is really good. The strawberry cream part, though, isn't really a cream. It almost just feels like a different sort of textured element to the cake. If you can see it right there, I'm trying to get the zoom in right. Not the zoom in, but the, you know, it doesn't have that different sort of consistency like, you know, a chocolate-filled something would have, which is kind of disappointing because I do love, like, baked goods that are cream-filled because you get that different texture coming through. But I also realize that storing things like that is hard, etc. So there's usually some sort of workaround to how it gets filled and what the texture and consistency is. Honestly, though, not bad. I would like to see one that kind of came out a little bit more looking like it does on the package, like it should. But taste-wise, she wins. Look-wise, honey, you tried. Your heart was in the right place. But let the professionals do the work, okay? Alright, so I've done a chocolatey thing. I've done a more like local thing. A Dillo cake. Honestly, though, the one thing with savory things is it's usually just all varieties of potato chips in some form or another. So while there can be a lot of them, it doesn't really feel like you're getting a full variety of things. Because I feel like there are more savory snacks out there to be had. And that's all we get. Like, which place was it? Was it Thailand? They have like a variety of the sort of like the corn nuts in the US, but they aren't as overly hard and breaking your teeth. They're a little bit soft. They have a garlic flavoring and other little flavors like that. Those were so good and unique and fun. And I wish there was more, but I think it could also be hard because like probably regional like savory foods would include a lot of nuts and seeds and such, and with allergies and such, it probably would limit what people could get in their boxes. And of course, with sensitivity variability in allergies, like someone could probably like have nuts in the box in a sealed bag, but still like be sensitive enough to where they probably couldn't eat anything else in the box for fear of cross-contamination. So I kind of get that. It makes sense, but it's a little bit on the sadder side because I do kind of wish that there was a slight bit more variety to this. Alright, so we'll go back to savory though, after me saying that. But let's see here. Those are the chili chips. These are... Alright, I'm gonna go with this. The lemon and chili right here. These are the little potato sticks. It's basically just a fried little strip of potato like this. I've seen them around. I don't think I've seen them very heavily flavored though, so... That's definitely something I see more in boxes like this than anything I've seen stateside in a store. Woo! Okay, so this chili definitely has a lot more kick than the spicy chips. Oh boy. Ooh, and it's more of that stingy type hot. Ooh. The lemon flavor is good though. It comes out strong and it's very tart and... Ooh. But, that's the kind of spicy I am not a fan of. Ooh, high-pitched type spicy, like, totally. It spreads a little bit in the mouth, but just a bit, not heavily, so that it's evenly coated, but it has, like, pressure points. And, I can feel it getting into my throat and being, like, tickly, negatively. But that's kind of inspiring me to move on to some chocolate, you know, a little bit of a dairy product to get the... Like, they are good, but I'm probably gonna give that bag to someone. I want to try these, because I do love little biscuits like this with the... So, here we go. This is the Chocolado. It's not as dark and rich as the package cover has it, which is kind of sad, but oh well. Oh my. So again, I am noticing that the chocolate here is very creamy. Very smooth and delicious feeling. It doesn't have an overly sweet taste to it. And it just feels really, really good. Honestly, though, I'm going to have another wafer, though, because... So like I said, I do want to save some of these and spread them out a bit. I don't want to crack open every little thing that's in here. But I do want to finish with these because they're intriguing. They actually made them look like... Oh, they're gum! I thought they were going to be like little jellies with like non-perials on, but apparently it's a gum. So, yeah, here it is. And actually you can hear little bits of them. I'm going to grab one of each flavor. Be bold, be brave. So yeah, as you can see, there they are. They're just like little drops. I'm wondering if they use the right word because it says gum on the bag, but I do feel like these are going to be more gummies because they're slightly. Okay. So I was right. They're not a gum. It says fruit flavor, although I suppose like wine gums and stuff like that, so yeah. Kind of makes sense too. But American, you hear the word gum, you think of chewing gum, bubble gum type thing like that. But these are good. They have a wonderful fruit flavor, very natural. Again, doesn't have any of that sort of weird aftertaste that some things can have where it feels a little bit artificial or sometimes metallic for some reason. These are really good. The little beads on them have some texture, are nice and a little bit crunchy, but they also dissolve with the rest of the snack very well, which is something I have had a problem with bumpy treats before, where the little balls sort of like don't dissolve, they just like fall off and like roll around in your mouth and feel weird. These feel very nice, very natural. They're lovely. And they have a little bit of the flavor too, so if you just let it sit in your mouth, you get that fruit flavor, and then you bite in, and you get a really good explosion of that juicy, like, lovely texture. Ah, those are really good. They don't... I'm just curious about something. So grab me one more. I'm gonna rip it open. Yeah, it's a solid gummy. So it really does have like a little explosion of flavor when you bite into it. So I almost expected it to be like a juice filled or a, you know, the ones that are a little bit syrupy in the middle so that it could spread out in your mouth. I almost expected it to be like that, but nope, it is solid all the way through, a solid jelly. And I really like it. Alright, so I have tried, sorry. So I've gone in and tried these 3 snacks here for the savory department. And then I went and tried these 3 babies in the little bags. And the Zira cookies. And the Chocolado. This one has some potential, some possibilities, so I like that. I like the variety here. The sweeties are so good, and again, I love the variety here that you get a bunch of things like these babies here, and there was something else. Ah, it's such a mess. Anyway, you get things like this that are more based in the region and traditional snacks with actual herbs and spices and flavor elements that are unique to the area and not something that you're just going to find at a 7-Eleven and such. But they also do have like regional variations of things like the butter cookies or like a little chocolate covered marshmallow thing. Every place has that and they're all a little bit different and I love that idea. Or hell, even Oreo knockoffs. Like, none of them ever really taste fully the same. They're all a little bit different. Again, especially with the cream and what goes in the middle of it. And again, I love that. I love the variety of types of things you can get with generally the same experience. They have a... Oh my god. That sounds good. They have a Panta what is it? Mathapod gum, which, ooh, I want to try. I want to try that. Okay, this might actually be an actual gum, so let's see. Let's see if I can do it. I believe. Ooh, the texturing. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a gum. I can tell by the shape of it, which probably sounds weird. It's one of these, kind of like a weird sort of cindery block type thing. I've had gum like this in the States before, but not very often. Yep, it's a gum. And, ooh. Oh, this is intriguing. It has the flavor. Ooh, the flavor is so good. But compared to an American gum, like the flavor is very soft, very subtle, not overly sugared or sweet or concentrated. It almost feels like you've been chewing the gum for like a minute already, but not in a bad way because this is where you're starting out. Like, does that make sense? Like, ooh, this is good. Oh, the little bit of the minty element to it. Oh. Ah, this is so good. Like, the flavor is mellow. It's not a crazy, overpowering type of gum type thing. The flavor is mellow, but because it starts out mellow, it feels a lot stronger. It feels a lot stronger than when you get a gum that is super crazy, overwhelming flavor. But then that drops off right away and it goes to a more mellow, normal element. It suddenly feels like it doesn't taste like anything because your first flavor of it was ultra rich. Ooh. I'm going back to that, but I'm going to put it aside a little bit for a moment like Violet Beauregard. Just so I can say, so, this was me reacting to a SnackCrate box that I got this month, which happened to be from Pakistan. And there is a great variety of treats in here. And if you get the mini box, there will be less. And in fact, the little inserts here, if I'm right, tell you at which stage each little box comes with. So the mini box will only come with these up here, not including the drink. That's an upgrade. Although I think you can get the drink upgrade with any size box, but I'm not sure. If you get the original, it comes with all of these as well. And the family size comes with, of course, all this extra stuff. So this video isn't sponsored, like I said before, but SnackCrate does give out referral codes. I don't know what bonus you get out of them or if anything, happens when someone clicks your referral code or whatever. But it's going to be in the description down below, so if you would want to try out SnackCrate, go ahead. I believe you can get this Pakistan box if you subscribe right now, and they also have like a few entry-level boxes, which are usually like, I think, Korea and Spain or other things like that. And they also sometimes have an option where you can buy up snacks from previous crates, sort of like what they have in Overstock and such. And that is sometimes worth looking at too. They also have seasonal special crates. They just did a Halloween one, which I got only one of this year. I usually get like 2 or 3 so I can give out some as gifts. But I only got one of those. It was really good. It had some good variety. It had crickets, okay? Little like roasted crickets in it. And it was like definitely supposed to be like a gag snack type thing, which is why I was in the Halloween box too. But they were so good. They tasted a little bit like sunflower seeds. They had that crunch to them. And like once you get over the idea of looking at what you're eating and just eat it, they tasted so good. And I really do wish the company would stop selling like the little gag gift boxes with like 8 or 10 crickets in it and go on to selling a full bag, because I damn straight would eat a full fucking bag of those crickets. They were that good. But yeah. This is SnackCrate. I really like them. I enjoy them. Not sponsored. But yeah, if you want to see them, they're in the link below. I have a referral code, blah, blah, blah. Everyone does. It's not a special thing. Like, every person who subscribes to them gets one. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. And of course, remember, life always gets better as long as you work in it a brick by a brick. See you guys.